The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. How's it going out there today, boys and girls in sporting land? This is the OCF. I'm the outlaw of college football, also known as JPC. That stands for Jesse Paul Clark on Facebook, spelled Jesse without the I. Also, you can find me on Twitter at OCF Productions. Now, getting right to it, I want to touch on the Damar Hamlin situation. And this video may not be as popular with a lot of people because what I'm about to say sort of defeats the purpose of what we're all doing in this industry right now as far as talking about football and loving college football and loving football in general. But the Damar Hamlin situation really made me think. I've thought about this for a while. I've struggled with it because it's a contrast of things for me. I hate to see these players that end up with CTE because of the repeated blows to the body and to the head. And you just see these players older in their years, they're broke down, they have all sorts of issues and whatnot. Sometimes the NFL don't take care of them. Even if you only play 3 or 4 years in the NFL, man, you're taking a lot of punishment, man. A lot of punishment. Getting hit by players today is almost like getting hit by a small vehicle. And that's not an exaggeration. Back in the day, they didn't have as many of these supplements that all these kids are amped up on coming out of high school, and then they come into college and they look like they're already big enough to be a junior in college, and by the time they get ready for the NFL, they look like a 3 or 4 year veteran in the NFL when they're a rookie because of the technologies and supplements we have that amp these players up and make them so strong and big that they're like I said, like a bunch of small vehicles crashing into each other out there. And it's just unsafe. And you got to sort of take a moment to just take an unbiased look at the sport that we love so much and think to yourself, man, is it really worth it? Do you want to put your kids in football and have them end up with CTEs and brain trauma and all sorts of issues with their body and their knees and whatnot when they get older? My answer would probably be no. I like watching it. It's just like, you can't help it. It's human nature. It's like when you see a car wreck, man, you want to look at it. Even though it's not something you really should be looking at, you want to look at it. Just like back in the Roman days, you had the gladiators and whatnot in there fighting to the death or fighting a lion or a bear or something like that. You watched it, but you knew that it really wasn't a good thing that was going on for the participants that you were watching. So I've struggled with it, man, because I love football. But we've got to come up with some way to make these players safer. And I'm not a real educated guy. I'm not going to say I'm not a smart guy. I'm just ignorant when it comes to certain things. But, I have common sense and I'm smart at things that matter, at least to me. And I just think this Damar Hamlin situation, man, it's just... it just makes you think, man. I mean, they say it was a freak accident. They don't normally happen. Very rare, but you hear of all these cases, like I said, with CTE, and you're like, well, that's becoming where it's not very rare. These players killing themselves like Junior Seau. Is it really worth it? And I like watching football, but is it really worth people possibly dying or having massive depression problems when they get in their 40s and 50s. So I want football to continue. I'm not saying that we need to stop football. I'm just saying we got to have to do something to do away with the violence that's involved in this game. I know that you sign up for it and you know what you're signing up for. I know that's what I'm going to get from some of the naysayers that are going to come in here and preach to me about how I'm just being a pudding about it. But I'm not really being a pudding about it. I'm just being realistic. That I would not want my grandson to play football now, the way it is, the way these players are amped up on these supplements and how they just lay into each other in such a violent manner. So what can we do about it? So we can continue to watch football and not feel so bad about what's happening to the people that we're putting out there on the field. Like I said, I'm not the most educated guy, and I don't really have the answers to that. But I know that we could probably, with the technology that we have now, we could some way, somehow, make this safer. And the NFL, as much money as they can make, they could do better in taking care of these players that end up getting knocked out for CTE or other health reasons. They could do a better job of helping these players. They make enough money to do it. They might try to poor mouth it and say they don't have the money for all that, but they got the money to do that, especially with the kind of money they make. They got to find some way to make this sport safer, or people are going to stop playing this sport. And it ain't going to happen maybe in my lifetime, but 40, 50 years down the road, well, hell, I might still be living. Who knows, man? They make them up with technology down the road that makes people live forever. I don't know. But there's got to be something we can do to make this sport safer. And even if we had to, and I know this is really going to piss some people off, but even if we had to go to flag football, man, we might have to do that just so people don't have the risk of being maimed or scarred or possibly dying from playing a sport. If that means playing flag football, then I guess we'll just have to play flag football. But you guys and gals, tell me what you think about all this. Drop in the comment section. Give me some education. Coach me up. Tell me what you think. There's a heart down here. It says thanks at the bottom of this video. If you don't mind, hit that for me. Throw a few dollars in the coffers. As always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.